the MacBook. You might have recognized this laptop before. Last year, I upgraded the SSD from a 128GB one to a 2TB one. That's like a huge jump in storage. So far, this laptop has been holding up well for me. The 2TB of storage makes a huge difference because the 128GB SSD filled up so quickly, and I run a lot of stuff with this old MacBook. Even though it's pretty dated in today's standards, like for example, the most recent operating system you can install officially is macOS Monterey, which came out in 2021. This laptop is still pretty fast, but there's one thing that is bothering me with this laptop, and that is the battery. I'm using this laptop more and more every single day, considering that I don't really enjoy using Windows that much, especially because of all the bloat, and I think macOS is still a better operating system. So that's why I'm using this MacBook more compared to my Windows PC. As you can probably tell, the battery isn't looking too good. 1319 full charge capacity is way low compared to the original one. The battery is so bad, in fact it can die at random moments throughout my day. Usually this laptop only lasts about 10 to 15 minutes on a full charge. To prove my point, let me try to play Snake on this MacBook Air to see when it will die. Oh, it died. It's still on? That's funny. Yeah, another weird thing about this battery is the weird random shutdowns. And we can probably say the battery's dead. That brings us to today's topic, replacing the battery. But what should we replace it with? I got it right here. This is the iFixit battery replacement for this 2017 MacBook Air, and it costs around $60, I believe. No, it was $70 for just the battery only. And if you opt for the kit, which I have right here, which comes with a screwdriver and the pliers you need to get the battery out, that costs about $10 more, for like $80. But I chose to get the iFixit battery over the cheaper ones on Amazon because iFixit usually has a very trustworthy reputation with all their batteries. They make batteries for like the iPhones and of course the MacBooks that we have here. So let's try to unbox it and see what's inside. Right, so we got the battery itself right in here. Looks exactly what I saw last year. So we have the battery, which is in this nice little tray here, and some quick instructions. I think this one here shows some some tips about recycling your battery, which you can recycle usually at your local big box retailer like at the Home Depot, and some tips for battery calibration, which we will get to later. Alright, so let's figure out how to get this thing set up. So let's take a look at a video to see how we are going. Alright, let's see. So we have to follow the guide on iFixit website. Alright, open the back cover, unplug the battery, and unscrew the battery, take it out, and I think that shouldn't be that too difficult, right? Alright, let's get started. So I guess we can just flip this thing over, and from what the iFixit guide say, you have to discharge the battery first just to make sure it does not explode. But it looks like that our battery testing has discharged the battery enough. So let's start to get to this assembly. Last year I also bought this iFixit toolkit so I don't have to use these screws because they should have the parts right in here. So let's take it out. Right, nice little tool here. We also need a P5 pentalobe bit, which we have here. We can insert that into our driver and let's start unscrewing. And that should hopefully allow us to reveal the internals again. And that's the inside of the laptop. So we have the battery over here, this huge thing over here, and that's the SSD that we replaced last year. And I'm assuming that's the Wi-Fi card, and this entire thing is the logic board. The CPU is underneath this fan, and that's all the circuitry that goes for it. All right, let's get to removing the battery. So all we had to do is take out the battery. First, we have to unplug the battery itself from the logic board. So we just pull out this plastic tab over here, parallel to the socket. And our battery is disconnected. Nice. This time we'll be using a T5 Torx screw. So let's put that into our driver. And let's start unscrewing. Alright, and then we can just pop this battery out from this MacBook. Say bye-bye, battery. Alright, the battery is freed from the MacBook and we can set this aside. Alright, we have the new battery here, we just put it inside. Once we got this battery installed, we can just plug this in and take out the seal. And we're all set. All we need to do is put back the back cover and screw on the lid. Alright, and we're all set. Let's see if this new battery has juice in it. Hey, it comes to life. When we boot up system information, we can see exactly that our battery is at 7128 milliamps, which is how it should be out of the factory, with 2 charge cycles, which is pretty good. And that concludes the battery replacement, and let me make an update video in about 1 week to see how everything goes out. Alright, it's been about 3 to 4 weeks since I replaced the battery for this laptop, and here is the update. So the battery of this MacBook is alright. It still doesn't last forever. It only lasts around 2 to 3 hours before it dies, but it's still a significant improvement compared to the 10 to 20 minutes it lasted before replacing this battery. For example, I can edit this thumbnail for this video, for example, and I don't have to worry about the project disappearing because of a dead battery all of a sudden. And of course, this video and all the other videos that I'm doing, it's great having a reliable battery now compared to that previous piece of junk. So now I can rest assured that all my files will always be saved and not randomly corrupted because of a dead battery. Which reminds me, I have to get back editing this video that you're watching on right now. I have a huge backlog of videos that I want to make, such as the printer video that I filmed 1 year ago, that I am about to publish maybe sometime in January, where I replaced the ink pads on one of the Epson EcoTank printers. And I also have more to come in 2026. Obviously, I haven't been posting a lot. I mean, my last upload was like in January or something. That's like almost a year. So hopefully I can get that back on track. As always, if you're enjoying this video, you should give this video a thumbs up. And also subscribe so you can see all my future projects. I have a lot of projects planned in 2026 and beyond, and you definitely do not want to miss them. And once more, have an amazing day, and see you in my next video. Bye!